Hello everyone and welcome back to my Bold and Beautiful 29 YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Let's just get this inconvenient verity out of the way before we move on. Ridge asking Brooke and Steffi to work together is downright moronic on his part. He's not just trying mixing oil painting and water, he's throwing a lit match into a megacity-sized pool of gasoline. To quote Steffi, "How could you suppose that's a good idea?" The scenes in which this all went down were hectically entertaining on several situations. First, there was Ridge averring he didn't make this move to have a fight with everybody despite the fact that he'd to know that's exactly what would be. Also there was Carter, easily the perfect person to hold this part, stuck saying, "Brooke is the perfect person to fill this part," and without one trace of irony. And also there was Steffi. Or more specifically, there was Jacqueline McInnes Wood, who's 100% the queen of the response shot. Whether you want a full body eye roll, a bit of side eye or the kind of look that should be certified as a deadly armament, Wood's got it in her force. I feel as if Steffi's been largely overreactive to effects of late, but damned if her portrayer doesn't make me love every nanosecond of it. Regular compendiums know that for weeks. IV ended this column by asking, "I wonder what Paris is over to." Well now, we know thanks to the occasion-ending exercise on Friday, that Thomas came home engaged to Paris. This is the kind of succulent, if slightly ludicrous, twist that I've come to anticipate from this show of late. Thomas left city licking his injuries over Hope, so it makes sense that he'd have thrown himself into a new love with an old honey. What I don't get is why the show has decided to have Hope suddenly featuring about Finn, however, so that when he came home with a new lady on his arm, she'd be wounded to the core. If she's moved on, indeed in her mind, doesn't that dwindle the impact of Thomas' return? Shouldn't Hope have spent the once many weeks reflecting on effects with Thomas and lamenting having let him go? Recently, it's felt a little bit as if the pens are simply making effects up as they go on, throwing pieces in the air and letting them fall where they may. That can be delightful, but it's also confusing as heck for observers. Especially those of us who anticipate effects like, sense or durability. I am not sure which we got further of this week, Sheila saying IV changed. Or Brooke talking about Steffi's hubby. Both, still, were uttered enough that I am entering them into our forenamed soap opera drinking game. My favorite moment had to come when Brooke said to Deacon, "Steffi is having passions for an inappropriate man." It sounded like commodity right out of Bridgerton. More still, there was Lady Whistledown Sheila, lurking in the murk, taking notes. Thanks to the malleable laws of soap opera sound transmission, Sheila was suitable to hear everything they said. Incontinently, she realized that Hope would be a far better match for Finn than Steffi, if grounded only on the fact that Brooke's son believes gormandizers can fly and sickies can change. What annoyed me was that when Sheila walked up to Deacon 5 twinkles laterally and started talking about how much more stupendous everything would be if Finn was with someone willing to give her a chance, he didn't incontinently say, "Stop. I know where you're going with this." Also, because commodity that works formerly is surely worth repeating, Sheila got to eavesdrop another discussion, this time with Tom admitting he'd done commodity many others on the show feel able of he googled Sheila and set up out about her numerous once sin. This, of course, led to Sheila advising that he demanded to keep his lips zipped or differently. Wonder how Deacon will feel when Tom becomes the rearmost victim of Sheila's murderous rage. 'Cause I am enough sure I see an accident in his future. Poppy's plot was each over the place this week. She went from being unnecessarily, and uncharacteristically, proud with Katie, to participating a downright tender moment with Lee. But the real surprise came at the very end of the week, when it came clear that Poppy and Tom partake some kind of connection. I go my coming voyage, it has commodity to do with Luna's maternity, but what? Staff pen Candace Young, who recaps Bold and Beautiful each day, suggested that maybe Tom is the factual father of Luna, and that maybe Poppy ever set in stir the chain of events which led to him being homeless. I'll admit, that feels like a stretch to me, but it's clearly an interesting possibility, no? I love that Lee insists on calling her family Penelope. That's so relatable. I mean, everyone I know calls me Richard except my mama and Pater. Who V always called me Rick and aren't about to change just because I prefer Richard. Hey, at least it's not Dick, although I've been called that too, occasionally by some of you gentle compendiums. I loved the stuff with Katie and Bill in which she admitted that when it came to his new family situation, I've a lot of mixed passions, and most of them I don't feel are justified. And also we got Bill admitting, this was really nice, just sitting on the settee, talking with you. It reminds me of old times. You know how I feel, how I'll always feel. You re my Katie. And also they outgunned it off with those awful flashbacks. Do I want to see Katie/Bill reunite? No. Been there, done that way too numerous times. But that doesn't mean they still have complicated passions for one another. Ridge insists on keeping them in the company, indeed if they not Forresters. Steffi Forrester loses control of FC. Steffi will continue to lose control of the company she worked so hard to maintain. She doesn't want to be pushed down for the Logans. Steffi doesn't have anyone on her side in this battle. The bold and the beautiful spoilers suggest that Steffi could remind her father who operates the company. She could simply pull out the contract that states no power or shares of the company should go to the Logans. Hopefully, Thomas Forrester will return and help Steffi take back the arm. What are your studies? Do you suppose Steffi will regain control of Forrester Creations again? What do you suppose of Ridge blindsiding his own son? Sound off below in the comment section. Shin, Fluence, the bold and the beautiful spoilers for Thursday, June 20th reveal that Sheila will cloud. Sheila will formally again learn that Steffi has laid down the law with Finn. Sheila is getting frustrated formally again with Steffi blocking her relationship with Finn. Still, now Sheila has intel that she will use to her advantage. Sheila overhear Brooke Logan talking to Deacon Sharp. That's when Sheila learned that Hope Logan supports Finn having a relationship with his birth ma. Sheila also set about that Hope is crushing on Finn. So, it sounds like Sheila will try to play Cupid, but what will be the consequences? Which plot are you looking forward to seeing the most on Thursday, June 20th, 2024? Partake your studies in the comment section below. At least, not until the fantasies get out of control as they did with Thomas. Thomas Forrester returns. The bold and the beautiful spoilers reveal that Thomas is set to return soon. Perhaps Steffi's attacks on Hope don't stop. Maybe Hope gets so hopeless that she reaches out to leave a communication for Thomas. Thomas is apprehensive of the contest between Hope and Steffi. While Thomas was agonized, some time has passed. So, perhaps Thomas will be worried that Steffi is targeting Hope so much, including her fashion line. After having some time to suppose, perhaps Thomas has a fresh perspective on the situation with Hope. Thomas could also realize that Steffi is going way too far. So, could Thomas come back and surprise Steffi by being on Hope's side? Could it go indeed further if Thomas tries to oust Steffi from Forrester Creations? Some time agone, Head Pen and Superintendent Patron Bradley Bell talked about a huge family feud featuring Thomas and Forrester Creations. That plot no way sounded to be. Also, the epidemic forced the pens to change the jotting, also product was shut down. After that, there were multiple pen strikes. I am not sure if all those factors led to a change in stories, but maybe they're picking the bow back over again. Still, Thomas and Steffi could battle each other, if so. This could turn into one grand family feud, so stay tuned.